Welcome back to our series on how to start lifting. We will link to some of the other videos in this series, such as our Learn to Squat video, in the description below this video. But today, we're going to help you learn how to deadlift, as well as talk about how to go about your first deadlift workout. So, let's get going. When you pull your first set of deadlifts, it's going to be with a very manageable weight. For some people, this might be a set of 10-pound bumper plates or 15-pound bumper plates on each side. If you're on the stronger side, it might be a pair of 45-pound metal plates, but it needs to be at that height that is created by a set of 45-pound metal plates or bumper plates. Step 1, approach the bar and take a stance that is relatively narrow, probably narrower than you want. It's going to be a stance where your heels are at hip width. Probably your heels are going to be about 8 to 12 inches apart. So the stance is going to be narrow. The stance is going to be close to the bar. Your shins, if you're standing straight up and down, your shins are going to be about 1 inch from the bar. This will place the barbell over the middle of your foot. And your toes are going to be about 10 to 15 degrees out. Some people may need a little bit more of a toe angle than that, but 10 to 15 degrees is a good place to start. Step number 2, bending at your waist, not your knees, reach down and grab the bar with a double overhand grip. It's going to be a relatively narrow grip, but it needs to be wide enough that your thumbs, your hands are not going to slide up, they're not going to drag up your legs as you deadlift. Do not touch the bar with your legs at this stage, and do not move the bar forward or backward. Step number 3, you're going to bend your knees slightly until your shins come into contact with the bar. Also, shove your knees out slightly so they are touching the insides of your elbows. Do not roll the bar. Your shins will touch the bar because you bent your knees, not because you've rocked forward. After this step, your hips will not drop any lower than where they are right now. Step number 4, and this is usually the challenging one, without moving the bar and without dropping your hips, squeeze your chest up. This will set off a wave of contraction that runs down your back. You need to set your upper back and your lower back in extension. Also, pick a spot about 10 feet out in front of you on the floor to look at. Step number 5, drag the bar up your legs as you stand up. The deadlift is finished when your knees are fully extended, your hips are fully extended, your chest is up, and your shoulders are back slightly. Lowering the deadlift is the reverse of picking the deadlift up. Reach back with your hips, bending at your waist, sliding the bar down your thighs. After the bar passes your knees, you can allow your knees to bend a little bit. The idea is to set the bar back down right over the middle of your foot again. For your first set of 5 reps on the deadlift, your first warm-up set, every single rep is going to go through this 5-step setup process. So after you set that first rep down, take a step back, reapproach the bar, and go through the same 5-step setup. So let's cover this again. Step 1, stance. The stance is narrow, the toes are out slightly, and your shins are 1 inch away from the bar. Step 2, bending at the waist, reach down and grab the bar with a relatively narrow double overhand grip. Don't move the bar. Step 3, bend your knees until your shins touch the bar. Also, slightly shove your knees out so they touch your elbows. Again, don't move the bar. Step 4, squeeze your chest up, setting your back in rigid, flat extension. And step number 5, pull, standing up, dragging the bar up your legs. Again, stance, grip, shins, chest, pull or drag. After your first set of 5 reps on the deadlift, all subsequent sets will ideally be pulled without letting go of the bar. After all, you're pulling a set of 5 reps on the deadlift. You're not pulling 5 singles. To do this, you need to try to set the bar down right over the middle of the foot every single time. In other words, right where you picked the bar up. Once the bar is over the middle of your foot, simply make sure that your shins are touching the bar. That was step 3, if you recall. Then squeeze your chest up. That was step 4, if you'll recall that. And then step number 5, you're going to pull. So it's simply shins, chest, pull. If you don't set the bar down over the middle of your foot, that's okay. You simply need to roll it back until it's over the middle of your foot. Then again, make sure that your shins are touching the bar, squeeze your chest up, and pull. You'll note we haven't talked about breathing yet. You have two options as to when you want to take your breath in and perform your Valsalva. You can breathe in after you've squeezed your chest up and set your back, or, as is my preference, you can take your breath before you squeeze your chest up and set your back. You'll have to decide which one works better for you. Once you've taken in your breath and you've tightly contracted your abs and you've set your back and you've pulled the bar up, hold your breath. Do not blow out your air. Don't release your Valsalva until the bar is back on the floor. You only breathe in or out when the bar is sitting, resting on the floor. After your first set of 5, you're going to add weight in roughly even increments. How much weight you add is going to depend on your strength levels until you reach a set of 5 where the bar speed starts to slow down by the end of the set, and at which point you know that if you added more weight, it would compromise your technique for the worse. At this point, you're done with your deadlift workout for the day. We hope that this was useful, and if it was, please let us know. Hit the subscribe button or leave us a comment below or give us a thumbs up. We hope to see you in our future How to Start Lifting videos, and as always, we hope this helps you get stronger and live better.